Happy to get moving here. This is going to be good. Really want to show folks Ireland here, and that was really part of the reason we wrote the novel, and more novels to come around Green Island, but Hard Border, Enchanted Land with World of Secrets is our first one, and I think it's a pretty good intro to what we're talking about and kind of current state of Ireland.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's going to be a real eye opener for the readers, and hopefully this podcast does the same. And hopefully, lessons learned of kind of what we saw from Ireland and what's being pretty much extrapolated across the Western world now. I really honestly think, well, our experiences in Ireland, the little island of 4 million people, have really opened the eyes of kind of what I believe the powers that be are going to do for the rest of the world. Because right now, the people of Ireland are not in a good place. The citizens, but maybe the country might be booming economically, but that's not funneling down or trickling down to the people. It's staying at the elite level and mostly going
Yeah.
to, but it's certainly not going to the people. And anybody who did make money pre-Celtic Tiger, they're not making any more money. They're not allowed to develop, and there's certainly the banks are not active and haven't been for 10 years. So I think the world has to kind of, this is a real eye opener for them. So it's a great idea that do the podcast and get it out there on top of the book, and hopefully people start reading it, and we'll get it out there any way we can.
Awesome. So, do we want to introduce ourselves and take it from there?
Go ahead.
Sure. So, I'm Bernard Sheehan, a co author of Hard Border. And again, as you can tell from our accents, I'm an American here, but have deep roots in Ireland, talking about our experience not as kind of children growing up and playing with cousins and things of that nature, but living and working in Ireland as expat and really trying to make an impact. So, it's interesting once we were there and working in that environment, kind of how you saw things differently. So that's my perspective.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. As you know, my name is James Sheehan. I'm the brother of Bernard Sheehan. I'm also the co-author of Hard Border. And I guess, it's kind of a loosely interpretation of my experiences in Ireland. So I was an expat in Ireland over 20 years, jumping back and forth between Ireland and the US, and treated like an expat. And Ireland, although it's quite open, expats are, it's not as open as you think. The expats stick together.
You're still a foreigner.
You're still a foreigner. You'll always be a foreigner. It doesn't matter. You're almost a foreigner. If you kind of don't grow up there up to the point of college, maybe you can sneak in there in high school and college, and you might be considered a local. But if you didn't go there, we spent what every summer of our lives in Ireland growing up, but always the expat, always the foreigner, always the American, quote unquote. And it was a real eye opener because you're going to Ireland thinking it has the same opportunities that America had, or the same kind of laws that America has. Kind of, they're all based on the English, system of legals, but it's a far cry from that. And there's a lot of bureaucracy, and hopefully, this podcast will certainly enlighten the reader as to how the movement of socialism is kind of coming to America, where, in Ireland, all the institutions are pretty much been taken over, and they're all, run by the government in one way, shape, or form. And it's, a real, it'll be good to see how we explore the various topics. So, and the reader should, or the listener should really have a real eye opener, because they don't see it. It's not the fun, St. Patrick's Day party when you're going, if you're going
Right.
over there. Of course, you can have
Right.
parties, and the Army Navy game or the Notre Dame Navy game in Dublin is great at Croke Park. And going down the Temple Bar and, having a great time, and I had great times in Temple Bar a lot of times, where I met celebrities. Like, a lot of Ireland's kind of home to a lot of celebrities that don't want to pay taxes.
Right.
They have a special tax exemption for authors and actors. So I used to see Dr. Cox from Scrubs hanging around all the time.
Yeah.
He would just be in the corner of the odd bar, or then like Beyonce and Jay-Z would come over for a big concert and they'd be down in Temple Bar, and or their sister would be. And it's kind of that's kind of how you see it. Ireland's very small, but people pop out of the woodwork. Bill Clinton, he would be popping into the hotel when I'd be
Sure
there.
would.
What Bono would be following in, and they would be having whatever secret meetings they want to have. And it would always then end up at like a sing song down the street at O'Donoghue's.
Yep.
So I think, I know it well. I know all the places in Dublin. It was a real great experience. I mean, I must say, like, but I think the world has to understand what goes on, and it's not just all parties. It's a different way of life now, and hopefully we can shed that light on people.